Welcome to 68 Whiskey. Today we are going to take a look at the FX Leopard. This thing is pretty cool. It's got a lot of the key features that I think make FX rifles special, especially this new genre that they're bringing out with no bottle. The air around the barrel stiffens this thing like incredible. This might as well be a bull barrel. You are not going to need anything to stabilize this. There's no... What the... Chris sucks. Now I have the pleasure of having some special guests here and there, but this one is that super special one that I just can't seem to get rid of sometimes, which is why I love him so much. Come here, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Chris Turk from up north Air Gunner joined me. We were turkey hunting, having a blast, and who killed a turkey?
That'd be Rick Ream from Shooter 1721, man. He dropped that Tom, and he's the only one with a turkey right now.
He is the only one with a turkey, but we have the turkey breast, so we actually won. He had too long of a drive to take it home, so...
So we win.
Yeah, we win. But yeah, we had a great time. There's nothing to do with this video at all. I just wanted to say, hey, one of my best friends in the world is here, and we had another one of them here. Unfortunately, we were procrastinating on making the video, so we didn't get Rick on film for this, but we're having a great time. Back to the Leopard action. Sorry to interrupt.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Now, this is a really cool blend of a lot of good features that FX offers, and I think it's kind of getting down the road where they want to be, where you've got a super stiff barrel because you have the air around it, and we're sans bottle, so no extra air capacity taking up space in here or up in front. So if you take this off the bipod, you can slide right up against the barricade. It balances really well. There's a lot of cool stuff about that. You'll notice that the gun is sleek in its entirety, including hiding the plenum in the buttstock. I really like that. It's a smaller plenum, but it's completely capable. This thing is preferring to shoot the FX hybrids so far in my testing, and these 22 caliber ones really expand well. So it's a great option for this, and you don't have to use up a ton of air. As a matter of fact, they're 18 round magazines. I'm getting from a fill. So that's a lot of hunting. I mean, realistically, if I'm going out squirrel hunting, just one magazine is all I'm going to bring because it's a ridiculous amount of shots. Anytime you shoot, 5 shots while you're squirrel hunting, you're probably doing pretty good. We've got a Donnie FL Fat Boy on the front to tame it down. It is a 600, so it barks a little bit, but the Donnie Fat Boy does a good job of taming that. And then we've got the Element Nexus on top. I'm probably going to end up putting something more compact on this rifle because the whole package is nice and short, but I really wanted to have the Nexus, some high-end optic on there, just so we could do real accuracy testing, find out how sweet this rig really is. And then once it's time to hunt with it, I'll probably go with like an LPVO or a red dot, or even better, Element Optics Hyper system, because then you're like at 5 power and you've got all those holdovers in, and there's a whole lot going on there. I won't even dive into that. It's a separate subject. But we are really pleased with the way that this rifle is performing. It's got a Arca Swiss on the bottom, which I think is really nice. You can put an adapter to a Picatinny, of course, if you wanted to, but no reason to. You got your barricade stop here, all the accessories that you need to go on, plenty of space. And we are looking at, in my rifle, a tune at just 120 bar. Now, if we were to add an air tube to this, I think we could just go like crazy. But to me, the beauty of this rifle is as it is, nice, short, compact, but packed with features. You've got the quick tune system here, which I love. It's nice to have a gun where you just pick it up and shoot it and never think about the tune. The DRS Classic is like that, for instance, and the DRS Tactical is like that. But when you've got slug capability and you just want to have a little flexibility to go back and forth, pellet slug, just a couple quick turns on the dial, and you're there. So I really do appreciate having that on here. And of course, it has the amp regulator, so you get a lot of consistent shots. Just like all other FX rifles, this does operate off the liner system, so it gives you some flexibility on if you want to have a tighter twist for slugs, a slower twist for pellets. The option is there. Just note that while you can change out the liners, it's inside the air system. So it's pressurized. You would need to degas the rifle completely, screw off the end cap to swap out the liner. So it's not quite like, you know, changing it out on a Crown or an Impact. It's not a problem. It's just something that you should be made aware of, because if you're going to order this gun, order it with a liner that you think you actually want, and then you can save yourself some hassle. Let's break out the trigger cam, slide it on here, and show you guys the accuracy potential of this rifle system. Of course, as I'm doing this review, we are in gale force winds, but we will show you the accuracy potential of this, and it's just like you would expect from FX, hole on hole. If you're within, you know, 50 yards, and if you push it out to 100, you're gonna get about an 1.5 inch group or so with the hybrids, is what I've found, which is really respectable. And of course, I'm not indoors, so even when it's calm, we've got some issues going on with wind and elevation. There's nothing that we can do to negate that, so we're just gonna have to say, okay, we know that we can shoot this, and inside it'd probably be this. I wish it was more scientific. It's not. As a matter of fact, you know how it's gonna get there? Utah Air Guns, their new building, they're putting in a 100-yard indoor range. So I can't wait for that. And they'll be able to tell you exactly what these guns can do. That's actually really exciting. I had forgotten about that for a second. Woo! Let's go. All right, guys, so we're gonna be shooting the FX hybrid slugs at a speed that I'm not actually sure yet, because when I tuned this, I tuned it for accuracy and didn't have the chronograph on. So we're just going to take some shots on target. You can see what I can see, and we'll see what the speeds say. 974. 961. 962. Talk about a perfect clover leaf. I feel like this is a Henry repeating rifle and load it on Sunday and shoot it all week. There's one more shot. 966. So that's a full magazine into the bullseye. Of course, I expect that. That's only 30 yards. But for slugs, sometimes that's tricky. Sometimes the closer stuff is a pain. You don't get the best groups until they, like, quote unquote go to sleep or whatever people want to call that. But I mean, that is squirrel brain every single shot, which is exactly what we'd expect out of FX.
Are you going to try to shoot 100 yards in this wind?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, Mr.
So,
I'm Mr. RMAC champion.
I don't know if you guys can hear that or not because the mic's up here, but Chris is standing behind me. He's like, wait, are you trying to shoot 100 yards in that wind? I'm like, yeah. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to be fine. Real life scenario, right? You look at the grass in the background. Holy smokes. All right. I'm going to hold 2 MOA and aim for the bolt, see what happens. 4 MOA, but let's shoot a group. Oh, yeah, it died a little bit. Dude, this is so awesome. You can watch them curve. That's pretty darn accurate. Let's put 3 shots together up on the head. I don't know what more you could expect for this insane wind. Whoa! That changed. Oh, look at the grass just stopped and that went the other way. That's pretty cool. But that gives you guys an idea. I mean, the gun is shooting really, really well. That's like 6, 7 shots by the bolt, and then I got 3, 4 shots up onto the head, and then, you know, the wind died, so went all the way over there. But can't be more pleased than that. And keep in mind, with my range, we got hills and hollers here in Kentucky, so there is a ton of up and down. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you because it got really weird, because I just dug the foundation for my house just to the left of the target, so there's a hole that creates a swirl, and then there's piles of dirt everywhere, making stuff move around like crazy. I'm going to bring you outside and show you that. So all that exposed dirt right there is the foundation. So yeah, it's definitely messing with the flight of the slug a little bit, but Candidly, Chris, I'm surprised and elated to get anything to group in that wind.
Dude, I can't believe you're actually trying to shoot groups at 100.
So look, Chris has a real job. Oh, I'm not going to show you the screen because who knows what he's got on there. But
YouTube. We're trying to do conference calls and doing YouTube content creation, but I will attest to that. That wind, you could actually see it going across the grass like waves in the ocean.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it was awesome. Yeah. I've said what I need to say. I think you've seen what you needed to see. The FX hybrids were the winner for tuning this gun, 970 feet per second. Going to be lethal for sure. They cut through the wind pretty well today. It was like a ocean of wind out there, and it did really well at 100 yards. You can really see it at 30 yards, the accuracy potential. I mean, it's an FX. It's going to shoot well, especially with hybrids or pellets, or really any of the slugs that aren't crazy weights. And even then, you can change the liner. But as I said, just a final reminder, Utah Air Guns will be happy to set up the gun with whatever liner you want. So when you order, talk to their techs and just go through, how you're going to use the gun, and they'll steer you down the right direction. Until next time, guys, stay safe, have fun shooting.
Done.
Done.